everyone. I am Kathy Rana, and on behalf of Logistics Insider, welcome to each of you for joining us today for another captivating episode of Voice of Shippers. Today's episode revolves around the theme Navigating Transformation in the Automotive Supply Chain. The automotive supply chain is a complex network of interconnected processes and entities that collaborate to deliver vehicles and their components to consumers. This intricate system encompasses suppliers, manufacturers, distributors, retailers, and service providers, all working in tandem to ensure the timely production, assembly, and distribution of vehicles. Efficiency, precision, and synchronization are crucial in the ecosystem to meet consumer demands, optimize cost, and address challenges such as globalization, technology integration, and sustainability. Now, as the automotive industry evolves, the supply chain's adaptability and innovation remains pivotal to delivering high quality vehicles to market worldwide. As we delve into this intricate web of this sector, we are honored to have a special guest with us who happens to be an expert in this area. With a tenure spanning almost a decade at the helm of supply chain management at his current organization, he epitomizes visionary leadership and impassioned dedication. His strategic prowess in maximizing productivity and driving excellence is nothing short of inspiring. So now, without any further ado, let us welcome Mr. Deepak Singh, Vice President Supply Chain, PPAP Automotive.
Hello, Mr. Arvi and everybody.
Hi, sir. Welcome to the show. Mr. Deepak today will unravel the latest trends, confront the sector's challenges head on, and explore the profound evolution of the automotive industry.
Yes, sir.
So, sir, shall we dive right into the questionnaire?
Yeah, please.
So let's start by giving a little overview of the automotive industry to our audiences. So, you have been associated with this sector for almost a decade now. So, if you could touch upon some of the latest trends or happenings of the industry and how the industry has changed over these years.
Yeah. So actually, Mr. Arvi, this industry is doing very good since inception and beginning after 84 when the revolution came in Indian automotive industry and several other manufacturers, outside manufacturers in addition to Ambassador and C8 and Mahindra and came in. So sector got drastic changes, and that is continuously growing year and year. If you see the figures of last financial year, so around 4.5 million vehicles, passenger vehicles, I'm talking about the cars, passenger vehicles were sold in India. And the aspiration of this automotive industry as per our authenticated sources, including SIAM, so it says that by 2025 it will be more than 5 million, and by 2030 the sector will achieve by around 10 million vehicles per year will be sold. And per capita income in our country is also increasing, middle class segment is increasing. So they are also adopting in passenger car vehicles as well as in other automotive sectors also. Two-wheeler sales is also growing in about commercial sector. So this sector has huge scope and huge opportunity with complexity. So because if you say about making one car, around 30,000 components are being assembled and one car is made. So, and these 30,000 components comes from several industries, several sources, with the OEs and one car is so. And the logistics and supply chain plays very important role in this area. And if we talk about GDP also, the good contribution of this industry, this good contribution in our GDP growth also. as well as employment also. Millions of people are working in automotive sector, maybe with schools, maybe tier one, then tier two up to tier three. People are working to support this industry. So, if we talk about with respect to business, with respect to society, so the contribution of this sector is very high. And now the sector has started thinking and working on the sustainability of it also, in which they take care of people, profit, as well as society. And they are trying to minimize the harms and hazard components comes which is affecting society and global warming. So the sector is also working to minimize and reduce carbon emissions for carbon neutrality and lowering this global warming. Uh, this is some important aspects of the automotive industry. And we talked about supply chain function. So it is end-to-end logistics, means starting from the raw material, or maybe ore, maybe polymers, maybe if you say about naphtha or crude oil. So majorly plastics are converted from crude oil and naphtha, and ore, metals are converted from ore. So starting from ores or naphtha or crude oil, and they're making a car which is being used by the end user or customer. So it is great complexity with several challenges in all stages and phases, with cost impact also. And we are trying to optimize the cost everywhere so that consumer is less affected, environment is less affected, and society gets benefited.
Was saying that you had, very well automotive industry, and you were talking about how near about 30 to 40,000 components come together to form one vehicle, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So, in bringing all of these together, there's also this challenge of the kind of world we are living in, because there's so many uncertainties around us, and especially I think after COVID, the entire supply chain or the industry has been more aware about the VUCA world that we're in. So my next question is about that. So, what there are always new challenges coming and knocking on our doors. So can you cite some of the challenges that are facing at the automotive industry right now that we are facing in this VUCA world?
Yeah, actually, this volatility, uncertainty, and complexity and ambiguity is the latest challenges in automotive world also. It is affecting all other industries also, but automotive industry is also affected by this. Not only COVID, COVID has given a great learning to every industry and every person that uncertainty can come at any point of time. So before COVID, everybody was thinking and discussing about the recession, about the economy downfall, industries were getting affected due to uncertainty in economies or some problems with economy. But COVID has given great learning. So after COVID also, uh, last 2 years were very challenging for automotive industry because once we revamped from COVID, then global logistics challenges came in and demand supply gap came in. Commodity price have gone up maybe up to 40 to 60%. Global logistics challenges where we were getting containers in $900, the container freight cost from to India or from any location from the globe to India has gone up 10 times. So that situation was very crucial and critical. And being a supply chain person, it was our responsibility that our customers are not getting affected. So we have to
Yeah.
optimize the cost also in all respects. So we had to make several challenges. We have to face several challenges. We have to make certain countermeasures to take care of those things. And uncertainty has given till date uncertainty is there as industry is still facing challenges from semiconductor issues And now they do digitization, automation, several projects, several machinery, including cars also. They are dependent on chips and PLC. So this has also a biggest challenge for automotive industry. Somehow industry is coping it out and they are managing and balancing the cost also. The major impact is on cost of every company and all together on the bankage. So being a supply chain person and being a supply chain responsible, this is our responsibility and to minimize the losses, minimize the challenges, and overcome from the challenges with our past experience, past learning, or maybe new techniques or new ideas, and uh, to manage the things on time. Because in automotive industry, a line doesn't wait for any component. We have to get some components for manufacturing of a car, so every component should be at the same time. So, but yes, the mistakes are there, but somehow we manage to achieve that all field.
So, sir, talking about challenges, you also touched upon automation being an initial challenge, if not now. But, I think it is inevitable to avoid automation and to bring in artificial intelligence in the logistics industry. We're seeing AI creeping in into every industry, not just logistics or supply chain. So
Right.
I was going to come to that question only. Automotive industry we all know is a very traditionally operated industry at large. If you look at the distribution part of it or the marketing part of it, it's still at large a very traditional way the marketing is done. So do you think that the industry is embracing AI right now, or it is still nervous? And if you can support your answer about the same.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, AI is a very useful tool for any industry, including medical. Automotive industry is also part of that, where AI can be useful for automation of several things, which is still manual. And decision making time is longer as compared to AI tools. So it is not yet 100% implemented in our industry, but yes, it is emerging, and definitely this will give a big revolution to this industry for decision making, for making the things faster, for predicting the things faster, what can come in future. So this is a very good tool and everybody should welcome this and we are also welcoming this automation, digitization, AI, IoT. Everything is very useful for any industry including automotive industry. Automotive industry will be benefited by these AI tools and digitization because you will need more precision here. And safety is very important aspect in automotive sector because it is a passenger car vehicle, people move on this. Uh, Speed ranges maybe from 40, 60, 80 to 140, 150. In India, maybe 100 kilometer per hour. But in other countries, on express roads, the speed goes beyond 100 kilometers per hour also. So precision and safety is very important in this sector. So this can come with automation only, with digitization only, with AI tools only, with the help of AI tool decision making. Suppose, for example, if you want to allocate some people
Yeah.
and you have data of skilled labor, so you have maybe X number of skilled labor and some supervisor has to assign that task in the morning. He has to come and take attendance and then he has to assign for certain people on certain lines. So AI can help the supervisor in decision making the moment person comes in the factory. So that can be allocated to the right place, do the right work at right place. So this is great help where the person and team was investing around 1 hour. That is being done in fraction of seconds. So this is improving the services as well as productivity and the cost also. Perspective is also important. Where the people were investing 1 hour in decision making and taking decision where somebody could work, although people are assigned and aligned. But most of the time, if somebody is absent, so this becomes difficult. So this is a good tool, and the industry is accepting this and welcoming this.
Okay. So, sir, you spoke how AI is useful and it can benefit the automotive industry as well, like it is benefiting others. But, sir, the fact can also not be ignored that a lot of supply chains or a lot of industry, particular in the automotive industry, they're not really embracing AI as much as they should. Maybe because the transition is seems difficult to them. So, if you can also talk about how can one make backed supply chain towards an AI-empowered supply chain in the automotive industry? How can this transition be smooth?
AI will definitely help in making, as I said, that it makes decision making faster. It makes it enables team or a leader to make decisions faster and doing the things faster with predictions and fast learning and fast training. Suppose we do something manually. For example, if I say we do something manually, yes, in festive seasons or in marriage season, the demand of vehicle goes up and demand of accessories also goes up. So people do manual calculations that yes, last year this kind of vehicle was sold and which we predict around 10% growth or 15% growth, or what happened recently 26% growth. So some manual working is being done. Yes, this much of percentage will grow. So team as well as industry should work to take care of the market demand. And if demand is increasing by so much, so how to manage the things, how to place the vacuum up to the dealer, and what other components are required, and what is to be done from the supply side also, and what is to be uh, what preparation to be done, what material should be arranged so that this demand should be catered and at one right time it should be addressed. If we talk about the fact, to be very honest, still some vehicles are in huge demand and waiting time is 3 to 6 months and maybe more also. So AI can help decision making faster with respect to past trends as well as current situation. What is the situation of raw material or any specific component or anything which is very crucial or critical at this particular time? Maybe after industries coming in India as well as in overseas for this chip manufacturing. So then it could be normalized or maybe the demand, it will be more than the demand. But AI can give a directive or decision or a guidance for taking a right decision in right action so that industry is facilitated and team stress is less and challenges become.
No, of course. I agree with you that AI can be beneficial in a lot of ways. But what I meant to ask you is that there is definitely going to be some hiccups for the supply chains who are working in a traditional manner to adopt to AI-enabled supply chain to move towards adapting automation. So, if you can
Correct.
highlight what are the challenges, why are still there a certain amount of supply chains that are shying away from AI? If you can, highlight that, that would be great.
Mr. Arvi, actually, if you talk about the challenges in implementing AI or any digital thing in the supply chain function, the biggest challenge comes on the ground. Because on ground, still we don't have so literate people who are actually working in loading, unloading, or on the line also, or maybe in dispatching also. Some people are commercially expert that yes, they can make great invoices, they can make on-time invoices and e-way bill and all that digitization. But the people who are working on the ground in supply chain functions or other activities related to man work, if you say man work or blue collar job, it is very difficult to make them equipped with the digital function. Suppose you are implementing some digitization in supply chain for vehicle tracking or checking of the vehicle, you have developed some app. And there are certain checklists in the app, maybe 10 or maybe 12, that yes, this vehicle is okay to move to the customer or not. So for supplying some material. So somebody has to use that app very smartly, and we should not invest time for more than 5 minutes. So first of all, the challenge comes that some people don't have Android phones or some phones. So maybe still people have key phones, so they cannot use that app. Suppose company or industry enables them by some Android phone. So it is very difficult for them to use that app very smartly and in a faster way. So the biggest challenge is making digital things awareness and using those digitization on the ground is the biggest challenge for today's world. Maybe next generation can come up with the best solution or maybe smart solution.
Okay. Sure, sir. Sure. Sir, coming to my next question, we've also seen that EVs in particular are a lot in talks these days. Whether it's the government or it's the general public, everyone is talking about EVs, and they've become a hype and the talk of the town. In these recent years, especially after COVID, when people are more talking about the pollution and how staying at home has replenished our ozone layer, then everyone shifted towards why not should we adopt EV. So I want to understand from you, what impact has it had on the automotive supply chain and logistics industry? How has this transitional journey towards EV impacted the supply chain or the logistics at large of the automotive industry?
Yeah, Mr. Pitardi, actually EV is coming up in a very faster way. So, prima facie, people think and government thinks that it is giving a good solution to protect environment as well as save energy because it is by electricity, it is charged by electricity. The other side, somewhere electricity should be generated, maybe by thermal power plant or nuclear power plant, or maybe from the solar energy. So somewhere some energy is being used, and if it is thermal power plant or nuclear power plant, it is contributing to the environment loss. But yes, if it is solar, so definitely it is giving contribution to environment protection and minimizing global warming also. So nobody can stop now EV. The only thing is that the people in this industry, what people see globally, the acceptance of hybrid vehicle is very high. Because for EV vehicle, government has to arrange charging stations, charging infrastructure, which is very important. Every 200 kilometers, most of the vehicles are lasting their energy within 200 kilometers, or some higher end vehicles are going up 400 kilometers. And if you have to go long way, maybe commercial vehicle or maybe personal vehicle if somebody is
Yeah.
going on holiday. So they want their holiday to be hassle free. So adaptability of hybrid vehicle is higher compared to 100% EV. But yes, acceptance of EV vehicle is also there. Currently, the cost is little high because we don't have, our country doesn't have the proper lithium and source, because current EV batteries are made of lithium ion, so which has long lasting. Lead acid battery cannot work in this EV automotive segment. So crisis of lithium is a big challenge for this industry. So in last 3 years, we have seen around 100% growth in lithium ion battery prices. So that is also a very big challenge. Then afterwards, this mineral of battery. Maybe today it is seen that yes, it is giving contribution for reducing carbon emissions and reducing our global warming also. But after 5 years, after 10 years, when these batteries will be disposed of, so that will become a hazard also. So time of Asia, it seems very nice. Government is also supporting. They have introduced
Yeah.
FEMA 2, so faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles. So they are also giving subsidies. Government is encouraging to put up the EV automotive industry in India also, in overseas also. Recently, you would have seen our Prime Minister Modi had discussion with Mr. Alan Musk, who is willing to bring this Tesla car in India. And people are waiting in India that when we will have Tesla, when normal people, common people or middle class people will also have Tesla. The future of EV is really good, but as per my understanding, the adaptability in hybrid car is more as compared to 100% EV.
Innovative ways that the industry at large has adopted to reduce the automotive supply chain cost, and what more can be done?
Uh, Actually, this is very challenging task for any supply chain person to maintain the cost as well as minimize the cost. So our association to minimize wastages. Wherever there are wastages or some optimization is not done. So it is a continuous activity. We call it PPA approach. So a plan, do, check and act. So this is basically better concept that we follow. And by this also the cost is optimized, then certain improvements, Kaizen activity with Japanese language, everyday Kaizen, every process Kaizen means improvement in everyday improvement in every process optimizes the cost of production as well as optimization of trade also. Suppose some vessel is being used and its space utilization is maybe 50% or 85%. So that can be improved up to 90% or more than 90% through vanning frequency digitization or some other modules. And then one is phase of vehicle optimization and second one is phase optimization. Suppose if some supplies are being done in a day, so with the help of customers receivables and as well as other dispatches, we can optimize that route by making two trips in same time or maybe three trips in a day. So that this means fixed cost is same for one day or one trip. Only diesel cost increases. If you make two or three trips in a day, so fixed cost is remain fixed, but diesel cost is increases, which should be balanced by optimizing. So many things are being done to optimizing the cost of the raw materials, cost of the processes, cost of the logistics, and it is everyday activity. We don't leave it anywhere. And major savings are coming by localization in India, which we are enhancing, and this is supporting the sustainability help also. So we have localized around thousands of tons of imports into domestic. So most of the companies in India are now at par to the overseas companies, maybe Japanese, maybe European. So we are getting same quality products in India now, and we are saving in values also, substantial saving we are doing in localization as well as we are supporting to environment, because it is a proven fact by some calculations that if you are importing from overseas and bringing in India, so the fuel uses being used in making supplies from overseas to India, it is equivalent to several number of trees. So by calculation, we found in our industry we have saved in 1 year we have seen around 20,000 grown trees by localization only. One is cost saving by localization. We have done substantial cost saving in by localization of certain commodities, certain products which were being made overseas, now it is being made in India. And then second is saving in fuel cost also, freight cost also, and that keeps going. Next, next level innovation is that we have around 9 plants in India. So we want to make our all supplies, we want to ensure our all supplies from nearby the plant. Wherever we have plants, whether it's in Chennai or in Bangalore or in Gujarat, India, or in Pune, India. So we are producing supplies from the local sources. And we are supplying to the customers from our local warehouse or plant. So that is also contributing in cost savings, and uh, there are several tangible benefits also, intangible also benefits also. Follow-ups are less, confidence is more, bulk material is going to the main warehouse, and then secondly by secondary transportation, time-wise supplies is being done to the customer. So by several means, this activity is being done for optimizing the cost and savings.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir. It was well explained, how the industry is already optimizing cost and what more can be done. So this now brings me to my last question. So, what is the sector now doing to future-proof itself and make itself more resilient?
Basically, the cost is a major factor as well as to support society. So this sector is very, very strongly working on the sustainability. Now our model has become to the so we are trying to support society by facilitating the low cost and low cost which is acceptable and easily available for each and everybody, like in developed countries. So we are also working on the same as well as without harming the society and giving something to society and environment. Like our company is doing plantation in our sustainable solutions. We have put around more than 1 million plants in Delhi last year. So furthermore is being planned to put up the plants also and to help the society. So this sector is really, really working in sustainable solutions, sustainable business, and which supports people, which supports environment, and which supports.
Thank you, sir. So, this interactive conversation with you. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. This has been one of the most knowledgeable and insightful conversations that I've had in a in a long time. And I've got to know a lot about the automotive industry, and especially how the automotive industry is also moving towards sustainability, like any other industry is. And that is something that is really good to hear, really positive. We it has definitely ended this interaction to a very positive note. So thank you so much for joining us today, sir, and thank you so much for sharing your insights with us. And
Thank you.
that will be all. So I would just like to thank you once again for coming and joining us. Thank you for your time, sir. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.